Hello. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. So we have our continuing saga with this original pet. And I'm going to turn it on again, see where things are. It's had a chance to cool down some. And it looks much the same. It has the message, but the characters are wrong. So one thing I'm going to do, which I haven't done, which perhaps I should do, is one of the first things, which is, maybe one of the things I should have already done. And that is, because this machine has been sitting around now for, more than 40 years, and I don't know exactly when it last had power on it. I would think 10 years ago or so. There is the possibility of micro-corrosion. Corrosion we can't see, but is enough with tiny voltages and amperages and such that it can throw things off. So the best thing to do, I've heard, is to reseat the chips, and indeed this has worked with things in the past. The other thing I've heard, and I don't happen to have a pencil handy, but it's not a bad thing if you do, to, with great care and reverence and patience, to take a pencil eraser and ever so gently go at the pins very carefully, with great care, tremendous care. Really, it's not a race. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to hoist the top. And put the leg in to its place. So, you know what, because this looks like it has the potential of being something to do with the screen RAM, I'm going to reseat that. Now, reseating, in my book, does not mean you have to take it all the way out. If I stick the screwdriver under there and hoist it so that all the pins move in their socket, then if there was some micro-corrosion, that should be enough to, I would think, make a difference. So I'm going to just because that's all I've done, I'm just going to turn this on and see if I see anything. And of course, what do I see? But nothing. Nothing at all. That is not the answer I was looking for. Now, the other thing, I have had troubles in the past with the cable that goes from the board to the monitor. And what I'm going to do, just because I can, I am actually going to take this RAM chip right out and look at it. And this is difficult because of distance. That's one thing. It is hard to get into this at times. I'm going to try. There we go. I have reseated that chip completely. And what do I see? Nothing. Does this still work? Yes. Even though it is not the easiest thing to do, I'm going to put this back down because I have had in the past, I had a pet that had issues when the thing was up as opposed to down. And that ended up that there was a slight, probably micro-corrosion on the cable or the connector that went from the main board to the upper board. So I'm going to take this chip right out all look okay. I'm sure it was in the right way. And once again, it is not the easiest thing when reaching in like this, excuse me, to get things just so. Because I'm basically working here in the dark. You know what, let me just, excuse me. Oh. Let me get my phone. Oh yes, that helps, because I can see already I was not quite lined up properly. Alright, let's have a look. Looks good. So these two chips have been completely reseated. And I see nothing. Oh, let me see. Aha! Alright, I'm going to turn this off again. I'm going to wiggle this connector here that goes to the upper monitor. Aha! Okay, that made a difference. It's not necessarily a good difference, but it made a difference. So now, it is similar. Things are kind of working, but now things are looking weird. This more and more lets me think, possibly, that the screen RAM is potentially part of the issue. Potentially. So I'm going to turn it off again, let it sit for a moment, and see if it comes back up. One thing I did do that I should not have done is I did the two chips at the same time, and I didn't turn things on in between. It is best, oh yeah, when doing things such as this, to only ever do one thing at a time. And I only did one thing, it's just with two chips. So that is perhaps, it makes it harder to say, oh yeah, that's what I did that, and then this happened. I reset both of those chips, or reseated, and then things indeed have gone strange. But still, almost working. Alright, I am going to open this up, put down this leg, turn this on, see if we still have the screen display, and we do. Good. And then oops. Hello. That's not what I had in mind. Hello. I'm just turning the flashlight on so that I can see that indeed everything looks like it's in there okay. Perhaps I should set up better lighting here. Perhaps I should. Well, I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to take this connector that goes to the upper monitor right off. And, boy, it is dark here. It may not look dark, but it's dark. I'm just going to wiggle that back on. Turn it back on. I'm sure it's going to look the same. Yeah, it's the same. I'll give it a little wiggle while I'm there. but it does now seem to be pretty secure in what's going on. It does. Here's all the RAM chips. Alright, I think I'm going to try to find another light that I can set up here that I can better see. Not that my quadfocals don't help, but there's a big shadow going in here. So, what do we know? Well, maybe that connector to the monitor was a little, not corrupted, but you know, the micro corrosion. And I do suspect those RAM chips. I do. But I'm not sure. You know, I mean, I don't know if any of these RAM chips are good. But certainly if I were to swap something, I would see if something comes up different. I would. So, I will look for lighting, and we shall continue. Thank you again for being here. Bye for now.